Today I'll show you how to craft a huge smash stage, making a shit ton of bricks and use digital sculpting and 3D printing. We will paint every single character with people from all around the globe and put all of that together into an epic diorama I do not have the space for. So let's go! First, I broke this complex shape into multiple simple ones. Let's start with the simple blocks as our foundation. I cut out 3 blocks with different heights and recreated our basic shape. Super Smash Bros. 64 starts in a child's room, and I want the castle to look like a child could have actually made it. Totally not an excuse for my lack of skill. Then I used some PVA glue to put them all together and wooden skewers to fix them with each other. We are far away from a castle look though, so time to make some bricks. The process is very simple. I cut out some small XPS plates to get the thickness and length down, and then I grabbed multiple plates at once to cut them to a fitting white. These bricks still don't look like stone, because they are missing some texture. That's why I put them all into a metal box with some heavy stones and shake everything for a minute or two. Now we have some pretty random stone texture on our bricks, and we can glue them onto our castle walls. I made sure to leave some space between them, which should make the painting part easier. Since this is a very easy but tedious task, a helping hand is always welcome. While my wife put down the bricks, I continued with our tower, cut the block and 3 platforms to a fitting size, and placed him down. Before I lay down the stone paving on top, I cut off the protruding stones on each side. Then I cut some smaller stones and arranged them in a fitting pattern that stays true to the original. I created a fighting path with a very thin and big chunk of XPS and some lengthy stones on each side. And then I finished the tower in the same way. Instead of traditional brick cutting, you could also create the stone pattern with a pencil, gently drawing on the XPS and smashing a stone on top for some texture. I still want to put some figures on that, so some toothpicks and PVA glue should help with the stability overall. Now it starts to look like an actual castle, but we're missing some windows. I marked those with a pen and simply cut them out. Then I used some wooden skewers to create the window grills. And for the sake of variety, I added some sand on random places. I still remember to this day how me and my cousins Alex, Sergey and Artyom spent hours beating our head against each other. I always played Link, and if I remember correctly,
I was pretty good. And I beat them all.
You do what, my brother? These two and me remember you getting your ass whooped on Hyrule Castle.
The roof pieces are the most complex parts on this diorama, but you could design these with Blender pretty easily. By adding a simple block, type in your desired measurements for length, height and height, and then connect the top edges to a single point. Finished! For the flat roof part, I added 2 different blocks and subtracted them from another with a boolean function before adding some bevels on each side. Also done! The last piece combines both of these aspects and could use a video on its own since it's more advanced, so we're not going into that. There's a link in the video description where you can grab all the files for free to make your own Hyrule Castle. I sent them to my FDM printer, and within a couple of hours I am greeted with some wonderful roof dummies, which are still missing some roof tiles and window grills, but that's on purpose. So here's a great thing about 3D printing no one actually talks about, and that's because most people just print everything or they despise 3D printing and abandoned it. So 3D printing in general doesn't have to replace crafting. Instead, it can enhance the crafting process. Design the basics, print the essentials, and let your creativity take over with kit bashing. And that's exactly what I did here. The overall painting process for the roofs is very simple. A base coat of PVA and green to make sure the roof tiles stay in place. A dark green heavy wash. Multiple layers of green dry brushing with a big makeup brush. And some final edge highlights with a brown color. Took me an hour and looks absolutely fantastic. And now we do the same thing on our castle. Some PVA and dark red color for a start, but this time we need to make sure the paint gets inside the stone gaps too, which can take some time. Some brown for the platforms, and now we can wash everything with a dark wash called Noon Oil. Uh-oh. Finally, back to painting. Now let us add those precious little washes and dry brush the shit out of this castle. I put down multiple layers of grey, getting brighter to an almost white color with each layer. At the end, I added a little weathering on the battlements, as well as some edge highlights with pure white. Some black and metal colors for the windows, and we're done. Let's put down the roofs again. As a final touch, I mixed some black and white pigments to create some grey dust. And dry brushed randomly across our stage. It's a battlefield after all. I have absolutely no room for this huge piece, but man, it does look good. Only one thing is missing, some fighters. I decided to go with the original full cast, because I found a complete low poly model range unculturedly and I absolutely adore them. So down the basement to my Elegoo printing setup and start printing, cleaning and curing. I asked my Patreons for support and man, they didn't hesitate for a second. So welcome to our international painting team. And if you followed the channel for a while, you already know who I'm going for. I started priming DK with Sandry Dust, a light brown color which works best as underground for his fur and skin. Then I put a base coat on his fur and used a soft makeup sponge to stipple the paint all over him. The soft sponge is great for smooth transitions, but doesn't leave much of a texture. That's why I picked a more harder sponge with a brighter brown color on top, followed by multiple bright brown layers on the highest areas. A base coat for his skin, some brighter layering, and edge highlight will finish the job pretty quickly too. With a red and yellow for his tie, and a little white and black for his eyes, I was able to finish DK within an hour. But can you paint a Smash fighter without ever having painted a miniature before? Let's find out. Wow, she always says she's tired after 5 minutes. No, she isn't.
Hey guys, this will be my first time painting a miniature. My target, Jigglypuff, the cutest Pokemon ever. At first, I didn't know where to start. Luckily, Sergey helped me with the basics, like how to hold the brush and mixing the colors for different techniques. I learned so much, but it was also a bit overwhelming at times. There are so many little details to consider, and I really wanted to figure some things out for myself before asking for help.
Subscribe! Subscribe to MiniQuest 64! Oh, hell yeah!
But overall, the experience was amazing. Spending creative time with my husband was the best part. I really loved using all the pretty colors and seeing Jigglypuff come to life. In the end, I'm really proud of my Mini. Up close, she looks a bit ugly, but from a distance, she's perfect. I'd totally recommend trying this, even if you've never painted something before.
2 down. Now let's see what the other guys are up to.
Basic brush, I need your help. I could hear MiniQuest's voice running through my head.
Sam, I need 1 million views on my next video, and you are the only guy I can trust to pull that off.
And with that, I knew I would do anything to achieve my goal. But how do you create a Pikachu? Well, you find yourself a pot of yellow paint and a willing or not so willing victim. Bribery helps. And then start painting. Well, that didn't help. Let's try something safer. I have to say, Sergey makes it look way easier on his channel. Where are the knives, poisonous chemicals, resins that can give you skin cancer? After a day and a night, I finally had my Pikachu. Now, let's get this over to Germany.
It took a couple of weeks, but here we are with a bunch of packages from all around the world. The first package is from the USA, and I'm instantly greeted by Captain Falcon and Fox McCloud. You can clearly see the effort he has put into his paint job by all the details he painted from hand. But there's more. Mike is also from the US and painted Ness live on his Twitch stream. Thank you so much for that and go check him out. This little package is from France, so it should be Mario, painted by Francois. He made a lot of updates on the Discord and showed us his painting process. Stunning work, my friend. Now this one is from the Netherlands and Wesley. Oh, we got a letter too. Now this is something very special because it is his first painted mini and he absolutely nailed it. See, we guided Wesley on his journey to the hobby store. We helped him to pick his paints and tools and even helped him to fix some priming mistakes. Thanks for this one, Wesley. I take good care of your little guy. This one is from Toby from PaintQuest, a fellow YouTube creator who turned into a really good friend of mine. He painted our little anxious green brother in no time. This should be Kirby, painted by Pascal, and he sent me a clip too. Let's watch it. You did a fantastic job, mate. I love the new eyes.
Sweet, from Sweden. Oh, this is Link. I've seen pictures of him.
I gave myself a single day time limit and tried to get as much done as possible, and I think I did quite well. I'm really happy with it, and I hope you guys like it too.
Oh, you bet we do. Hey, yo, David, where's Samus?
No! A fucking Gundam! Ah! Pew, 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 pew. That's the wrong miniature! We're making Super Smash! There's Samus.
David, you did a fantastic job. Thank you very much.
This is way too big for a miniature. Sam, you bastard! You are not serious! Pika! So we have more shit from Warhammer, here's the base. No way. Jesus fucking Christ, man! Look at all that! What is that? Thank you all. Thank you all so much for participating and painting all these miniatures for me, and that's a real community we have here. Like, thank you so much.
Keep it fire! Falcon kick!